Hi, my name is Jimmy Williams with NFL Draft Diamonds. And here with me today, I have a diamond in the rough I'd like you guys to meet. This here is O'Vauntay Vickers. He is a wide receiver out of University St. Francis. Nice to have you, sir.
Nice to be here. It's a blessing.
Hey, do want to clarify again, there's a lot of St. Francis's out there. It's the University of St. Francis out of Indiana. And did very well for them this season. Realized bit of a journeyman. We'll try and walk through some of that story, but we're looking at a great playmaker, for people to get a chance to meet. So, Vontae, go ahead, introduce yourself, and let's get going.
For sure. My name is O'Vauntay Vickers from Saginaw, Michigan, and I just finished up my college career with the University of St. Francis. So,
Nice. So, Avante, we do want to go back into your earliest of histories
Mhm.
with the sport, you as an athlete and all this other stuff. So, let's take us back as far as you can go, dude. How long have you been playing football?
I've been playing football since I was like 6 years old. Saginaw is a little different because here we can't play tackle in like the city until we get to like fifth grade, sixth grade. So, um, yeah, played flag, and then I transitioned over to Carlton Middle School and Elementary. That's where I got to play tackle, and then I went there for high school as well. Played football and basketball all throughout my time there, and then that's kind of college, and then so I got here.
Nice. You kind of answered my next question. That was, what else did you do besides football growing up? So, you a big basketball guy? You have a lot of that in your background, or what?
Yeah, Saginaw, I feel like a basketball city, so everybody grows up playing basketball. We got Draymond Green, Jason Richardson. A lot of great people here that play basketball. It's a basketball city, so I think everybody at one point plays basketball, plays AAU, and then as you get older, you find your niche and then transition over to what you think gonna take you to the next level. And I just chose football.
Yeah, I mean, you big basketball fan too, man. You a Golden State guy. What's up?
I'm Team Bron. I go where LeBron go.
I
I
feel
go where
like
he
a
go.
lot of people are.
Yeah,
That's just kind of how it is. I mean, when you're looking at one of the best there's ever been, I mean, sure, I completely get it. So I just figured I'd ask. Obviously, having a basketball background, being a fan, that sort of thing.
yeah.
So again, like I said in my notes, or you said actually, Carrollton High School, Saginaw, Michigan.
Mhm.
And so, other than you being a basketball guy, what else do you remember from your time there in high school? You have any, I don't know, fond memory that you can share real quick before we can move on?
Yeah, I mean, just I got the opportunity. Like this is just a I got the opportunity to play with like my best friends. So we all went from the Saginaw Public School District to Carlton schools, and we got to play together from fifth grade all the way up to 12th. So it's countless of memories that I could bring up. But being able to go through the maturation process with them was like the best thing for me from JV to varsity, and then going through all those wins. We got to go to the playoffs my senior year, which our school hadn't been to the playoffs in a while, and then district championships playing with basketball as well. So I would say all type of memories I can have with those guys. So that it's multiple.
Nice. So, a lot of great memories there in high school, but obviously, when you're done with things on the high school level, you're wanting to get to the next level. And so, how was recruiting for you? I mean, I know again, like I had mentioned, just kind of, I don't know, in jest again,
Yeah.
going to a lot of different places, but
Mhm.
how was the recruiting, man?
For me, recruiting was like so. It was kind of weird because I like love football, but I didn't really, especially here in Saginaw, I didn't know about like no 7-on-7. I didn't know about like really camp, none of that. So I kind of got on the ball late. So my junior year, when I tried to kind of pick it up and go to as many camps as I could, but my recruiting was okay. I talked to a few like GLIAC schools because I'm from the area. They come to the games or come to talk to our coach, Coach Watt at the time. But really, once it all ended up boiling down to it at the workouts, I really just had a bunch of NAI schools, Concordia, who was obviously just closed but open at the time, Siena Heights, and then some schools that were like out of state and far. So it just boiled down to those two schools. And then coming out of high school, Siena Heights had a lot of guys from Saginaw, Michigan. So I just feel like that was the best decision for me. So I went there out of high school.
So you went there directly out of high school,
Yeah.
but really nothing too much happened. I mean, I think that you just kind of was a red shirt, but I mean,
Yeah.
you really took off whenever you got yourself to Judson.
Yeah.
So let's talk about that. I mean, first of all, the transfer, and
Mhm.
then we'll talk about your time there. So, I mean, how'd you get to Judson?
Yeah, I was at Siena Heights for a little while. Had some financial situations, so I was able to have to come back home. And then oddly enough, Judson was just starting up. It's like I was gonna go to another school, my best friend, Cincinnati Christian, but crazy story. They ended up closing down like the next year after that, and I was like, thank God I didn't go there. So I went to Judson. They wrote on my wall, they're like, hey, you're a good player. We want to start a program. Respond to our messages, because I hadn't been on Twitter in forever. And then I ended up responding to the messages. I go out there for a visit. The rest is history. I ended up going there. I wanted to start kind of my own legacy and be able to just be an impact guy right away. And I spent a lot of time there. It was so many different hurdles, but once I finally got to play, that was all she wrote.
Yeah, I mean it's been an interesting thing as a person just kind of from the outside looking in. I mean, there are several schools that are, being, I guess, brought up,
Mm-hmm.
some of them taking away their football programs. So, I mean, it can be risky for guys, of course, as you're getting into these schools. So, I mean, you
Yeah,
really want to find yourself in a spot that either you're doing strong, like you're helping that program grow, like you did with Judson, or obviously getting to a very established program. So,
yeah,
um, and I feel like you did that early on with Judson. I mean, very I don't know, a very good target. Ended up, all conference, all American accolades and all this stuff while you're there at Judson. But for whatever reason, I mean, obviously you wanted to move on. I mean, I don't know if maybe you just wanted to try your hand at another location, but
yeah.
talk about again you moving on from Judson to other things.
Yeah. So I had spent a long time, I feel like forever, at Judson, because we waited a few years to play with eligibility and COVID, and then I played, went All American, went all conference after that, like first year's program. So obviously I set all the records because it wasn't no records, but like I knew that, and I talked to the coaches about this too. I'm like, while I'm here, I'm gonna give you everything that I got, and I want to help us win for my last year. But after I graduate, I just want to kind of see, like, kind of test the waters and see what opportunities I get. And I would love to come back and play here, but the situation really just was like they told all the people who were graduating that we didn't have any, like there would be no scholarships for the grad players. So like everybody could pretty much just test the waters and see where you wanted to go. So I didn't really have a choice to go back because I already graduated. So there was like for grad schools there are no, like I don't even know the whole situation. So I entered the portal after I graduated, grad transferred, like seen some schools, seen some opportunities, but I really just wanted to go somewhere and win because I had went to Judson. We were losing first year program obviously, but I wanted to go somewhere and win, and I didn't care as much about the numbers. I just wanted to play in meaningful football games. So that was big for me, and obviously the financial side of it, just good scholarship and being able to continue my education. So those are all decisions that I weighed, and that's how we got
Yeah,
to.
and eventually you landed at University of St. Francis there in
Mhm.
Indiana,
Yeah.
where obviously you've been for the past couple seasons, and of course just closed out your time there.
Hmm.
And so that kind of brings us up to speed.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
um, let's talk about you and your journey even more so, and just kind of your overall experience. So I mean, when we're looking at a guy again as a wide receiver, certainly been in a lot of different schemes, a lot of different offenses, and so talk about some of the differences and what you were able to be a part of throughout your journey, like when you're talking about overall schemes and how you were used.
Yeah. So when I first got to Judson, we honestly it was just a blessing because we got a bunch of guys who were talented, but it's growing pains when you got a first year program with a bunch of young people. So in that scheme, it was like receiver emphasis, and we were just taking a lot of shots, a lot of verticals. We would go 5 out sometimes, and most of the times we were in 10 and 11 personnel. Even in the red zone, we still like we throwing the ball. So I got an opportunity to showcase my abilities. Started off playing inside, then bumped outside. So it was like a pretty much like an air raid tempo offense, and that's like a receiver's dream. But sometimes it just wasn't correlating to winning, and then we had just situations that happened, and I was just like, well, I kind of want to see some how it would be different if I went somewhere else to play like winning football. So when I was able to go to St. Francis, Coach Donnelly, Coach Sherman, a different type of offense, not as much throwing, obviously, because at Judson, it probably was 70-30. It's like 70% pass, 30% run. But being on a better program with a historically great coach, like he knows what it takes to win. So it was more running, more balance. Obviously, a group of guys around you. Anybody can make plays. Like it's not just one person getting the ball. So that was pretty much it. Just a different type of offense, more pro style offense. A lot of 11 personnel, 12 personnel. So I think I was able to function well in both schemes, and I showed that I'm a receiver who's flexible and who can play anywhere and make plays.
So again, just wanted to carry on this conversation, this thread here of a guy who can play on the inside as a slot guy, can play on the outside as an outside receiver. So want to just continue the conversation as to what type of wide receiver you are. And so how would you describe yourself? What do you think are maybe your best traits as a
Yeah.
prospect?
I would say my best traits. I'm big. I'm physical. I can make all the types of contested catches across the middle, but I also can run all of the routes as well. Like I don't kind of want to categorize myself as the big receiver who only can run certain routes. Like obviously I play inside. I can run the slide routes. I can go back outside and play. So being versatile and well rounded, I think, are some of the two things that I pride myself in. But I would say my best characteristics is my hands and my size. So those are the things that I would say.
So when you say your size, let's just kind of clarify it, throw it out for
Yeah.
people. What is your current height and weight?
6'2". Right now I'm probably 208, but I'll get up right now out of the season, so I'll put some more size on.
So about 6'2", 208. I mean,
Yeah,
certainly decent size for a wide receiver,
yeah.
allowing you a whole lot of different things, of course. And so uh diving into this a little bit more, growing up in the Michigan area, who was it for you that maybe you looked up to, perhaps idolized? Who were you a big fan of back in the day?
Well, as a team, go blue, Michigan fan. Like I love Michigan, but like one of the players that I really just idolized, like locally, was Charles Rogers. He went to Saginaw High School here, went to Michigan State, won the Biletnikoff Award, got drafted by the Lions, for me, top 5 pick. But he had some injuries and some other things that kind of derailed his career. But to me, he's one of the greatest athletes to ever play in college, the best athlete to come from Saginaw. So that's someone I think everybody who knows football from the area like wanted to be like growing up. And so I would say him because he did everything I want to do and more on a higher level. So I would definitely say Charles Rogers. Rest in peace.
Yeah, I think some people forget Charles Rogers. I think the immediate go-to for a lot of people is Megatron. For good reason, of
Yeah,
course. He's one of the best ever to do it. But I think, like I said, I feel like a lot of people forget Charles Rogers.
for
So,
sure. I'm gonna get
great receiver coming out of college there for
yeah.
sure. Again, diving a little bit into you as a wide receiver, what's the one route that you love running? Like, is there one in particular? I mean, I know you said, I mean, you obviously, take pride in running like the full route tree, but
Yeah.
which is the one you like, really doing there for your quarterback?
My favorite route I would say is comeback 15 by 12. I ran it so much in high school. And a lot of people don't really run comebacks. I'm not sure like why, but that was like a pillar of our offense. 5-3-5 sprites, a sprint out with a flag, and then a 15 by 12 comeback. So that's a route I ran from ninth to 12th, and then I just kept it going with me through college. Especially it comes big and down the distance. So yeah, I would say a comeback.
I mean, I think, when I think about that particular route, I mean, I think about, just kind of the ability to stop on a dime,
Mm-hmm.
and just really just awareness on the field. Like if you need to be very aware of where you're at on the field, and of course you got to have that great relationship with your quarterback, of course,
Mm-hmm.
because oftentimes like that ball is in motion as you are actually making your turn, like even before you make the turn,
Yeah,
the
right out the
quarterback's
bird.
already in motion. So um, had a lot of quarterbacks you've had over the years, man. Talk about the relationship you've had with some of them.
Yeah, I had a lot of quarterbacks from high school on up. Judson, I played with Aubrey Williams. He's a great player. Can make all of the throws, can improvise. Like I love playing with him because he gonna put it up there and let me make a play. Like when all else fails, he gonna give me an opportunity to make plays. So I played with him. The next year I played with Christian Miller. He was younger, but he was also a good quarterback too. And then once I got to St. Francis, I played with Grant Grimmel, IU transfer, who was smart, one of the smarter players I've ever got to play with. And then my last year, I got to play with Josh Coca, my roommate. So that was, and this season went tremendous for me, and I was happy he came. So yeah, I would say
Well,
Josh woke up baller.
little bit of the upper hand there when you guys are roommates.
Yeah,
Uh,
but I will say there Josh is great guy. He does not show no any favoritism. He gonna throw it to who's ever open. People like, oh, you guys litigated and get the ball, but if you look at the box, the numbers, he was dishing it out equally. But yeah, that's one of my close friends, and I got the chance to live with him and play with him for my last year. It was a
no,
blessing.
I'm just having fun with it because I mean, with him as your roommate, you could
Yeah,
just, threaten to shave off his eyebrows or something if he doesn't throw
right.
you the ball.
Yeah, you ain't coming in the
So,
crib. You ain't coming in the crib, man. If you ain't on point.
no, no, I get you.
Yeah.
Let's talk more about what you've been able to accomplish over your
Mm-hmm.
career. I mean, again, just highlighting some of your accomplishments. Um, been all conference, a few times, of course, All American.
Mm-hmm.
Um, of all of the accolades that you were able to obtain throughout the course of your career, what are you most proud of?
Honestly, out of all of the accolades, I would say I'm most proud of winning the conference championship this year with USF, just because a lot of times when you come from programs where you putting up numbers but you're not losing, people kind of equate your numbers to like not translating to winning or you getting them in garbage time. But for me to be able to still play the way I played with around the group of guys I feel like I had the best receiver room in NAI, and I was able to share the ball with everybody. And then we won a conference championship after I think we're being predicted to finish like fourth. So to me, that's the biggest accomplishment up until this point of my career.
I mean, no doubt. I mean, obviously the accomplishments are all well and good, but the thing that matters the most, of course, is the W. Uh,
Exactly.
so you go out there, you win the conference, and at the very least, that puts you in decent spot to, do other things.
Mm-hmm.
Cool. When again we look back at your journey, again being at a couple different schools,
Yeah.
when we think about your highlights, what's one that sticks out, man? Can you walk me through one of them or two of them? Like when you think
Yeah.
about like these high pressure games or moments or something, can you share
Mhm.
one?
Yeah. I got two for you. We were playing St. Francis, Indiana, my school now, and this is 2021, 2022. They were coming up. This their first game because they had a COVID outbreak, so they were ranked like ninth. And I always predicated myself on playing good in big games. So they came into there. A lot of people were scared, like, bro, they're so good. They're big, they flying around. But I had the best game of my career. I think I had like 10 catches, 177 yards, and 2 touchdowns. And we almost upset them. But it was one play I remember. We went for it on fourth down. Like I said, we still going for it. We fourth and like five. No, I might have been fourth and 8 in the goal line. And he caught a fade and he threw it to me and I adjusted and toe tapped. And then I looked at the ref and he put his hands up like touchdown. And it was like a momentum shifting play. So that was one. And then this year with Josh, we were playing Madonna. He kind of like scrambled around stuff we work on in the summertime. Obviously, him being my roommate, and he put it up in the air. And I went up and got it on two people, and then we converted. And they're like, I remember like everybody in the stadium like going crazy and then seeing it on the jumbotron because we got jumbotron at St. Francis. So yeah, it was crazy.
I mean, it's nice to have that connection, of course, and then also going back to the one thing at Judson that you were talking about. I mean, bro, I feel like there are teams like that are up and coming that they got nothing to lose. So I mean, what the hell? Let's just go for broke.
Yeah,
Like every single time it's fourth down. I mean, who cares? Like
exactly.
we got to make something happen. Like we got to take risks and good for them. Good for that program for
Yeah,
taking the risks that they did at the time. So
yeah, for
um,
sure.
cool. So as we look at you, coming out of high school from Carrollton to now,
Yeah.
what do you think has been like the biggest change for you?
I think the biggest change for me is just how I'm able to deal with adversity. Being at Carlton, I played varsity both sports since ninth, 10th grade. And everybody wants to play right away when they get to college and go be an impact guy, but sometimes that's kind of not how it works. So for me, just trusting the plan that God has for my life, you know it's the journey, not the destination. So I think just being able to stay level-headed and modest in moments where it's not going how I want it to go, and then persevering later, like I think that's probably the biggest change for me, I would say, from 18 to from now. Carlton to
Well,
now.
I mean, generally speaking, things going fairly well for you. I mean, you recently had an opportunity to participate in the FCS Bowl, which, you go out there, you get in front of scouts who, hey, I feel like you did pretty well for yourself. I mean,
Thank you.
especially with the game. Can you walk through, some of your experiences with the FCS Bowl as a whole?
Yeah, the FCS Bowl was a great opportunity. Got to go out to Daytona and be around a bunch of great players, great coaches, great environment. Flew out there, spent some time. It was a one-on-one experience for me. Sometimes like small school guys, you're not gonna have a bunch of NFL teams coming to the practice and watching you play. So for me to go in there and do all of the weight, height, hand measurements, and then the coach seeing the Ravens, Packers, Lions, all in there looking at me writing stuff down. So it was a surreal experience. And then when you got to practice, you're like, hold on, this is the same people that I just seen there. They out here again. Like so, it was an amazing experience, and it was honestly one of the best decisions I made. Thankful for them to get the opportunity, and I was able to have a good showing in the game to kind of boost my stock a little bit, hopefully. So I enjoyed my time at the FCS Bowl.
So, when you said it was one of your best decisions, what do you
Yeah,
mean by that? Like, did you when you say you had to decide? I mean, they obviously invited you, but
yeah,
talk talk a little bit about like the processing because I
yeah.
think this is what goes through a lot of people's minds who
Uh huh.
aren't as familiar with it, right? Like,
Yeah.
what is the FCS Bowl?
Mm.
Like, talk to me.
So yeah, the FCS Bowl, you get invited, and it's a great experience. You get to be around a lot of the NFL guys, but also it's a cost that comes with it as well. So like if you aren't in a financial situation to do it, then you may miss out on the opportunity. Like to just say, luckily I was blessed, my support system, I had money, and I was able to pay for the flight, go out there and then play, get my own hotel. So those are the kind of the things that you have to weigh out when you go into some of the bowl games. Because even though it's a great opportunity, don't get me wrong, a lot of other bowls too that are great that you can play in and get in front of some people, it's a financial side sacrifice to it too. So that's just something that you have to decide. Like, okay, am I willing to invest maybe $1,000 to go out here and get in front of these to go out here and get in front of the scouts? And I was like, hey, I'd rather spend this money now. I got 2 degrees, I'll be fine. And if it doesn't work out, at least I pushed all the chips in the middle of the table and I bet on myself. So that's the decision that I made, and I'm living with it so far.
Yeah, a lot of people really don't understand that there's really only three games that are a complete like
Yeah.
100% like paid like
Mm-hmm.
in full. All other opportunities out there, like you kind of need to expect a little bit.
Yeah.
Um, so you got to be able to bet on yourself, man, and you've done that. You've bet on yourself. You put yourself in front of all these scouts, and hey, you've done your part, of course. I mean, you
Exactly.
did you put it all out there for people. I mean, it's really in everyone else's hands, of course.
Mm-hmm.
Um, O'Vauntay, I do want to take a brief moment to meet the guy outside of football. Whatever, whoever that is.
Yeah.
Talk to me for a little bit just about you, real quick. Like what are you into? Hobbies, interests, special talents, fun facts. Give me like a couple quick things because we're running out of time here, real quick.
Yeah. Yeah. I would just say I'm a cool guy, laid back, enjoy being around my family and friends, enjoy listening to music. Big relationship with God. That's something that I kind of pride myself on, kind of keeping God first in the center of everything, and then everything else will work itself out. But I also still like to have fun, go out with my friends, have fun, kind of be around the guys, and just enjoy life. I think that's something that's kind of people don't really get enough of. You focus on the bad things, you don't really get to enjoy life. But I like to fish. I like to listen to podcasts, history guy, I like all type of different things that I'm into. Sometimes you'll see me looking at lion documentaries, seeing how they are in the in the pride or all type of stuff. So yeah, I think I'm fun, outgoing, and somebody who's just into a variety of things, but laid back, chill guy.
Talk to me real quick, man. Podcasts.
Yeah.
What podcasts you been watching, man? Talk to me.
So I when I first started watching podcasts, I was watching the Joe Rogan podcast. That was when I was big on. They have a lot of guests. But now I like a lot of sports ones. So Club 520 with Jeff Teague, an NBA player, and then $1 million worth of game with Wallow and Gilly, and just a lot of them. A whole bunch of variety of podcasts. But anything with sports and like current events, music, I like listening to that.
Okay, so let me go off of the music tangent for just a second here.
Yeah.
Uh, you're in the locker room, you're getting yourself ready for a game.
Mhm.
What you got in the earbuds, man? What you listening to?
So one of my close friends raps, so I'm listening to his music. I'm listening to his music. He put me into songs, so I'm listening to him. And then I'll listen to like Detroit or Michigan rappers, but a lot of Chief Keef in the tunes. A lot of Detroit rappers as well. But
What what's your boy's name, man? Let's talk. Let's give him a shout out.
oh yeah, hey, while y'all here, his name is 10008 Naughty Bands. Go look at his music on SoundCloud and YouTube. He up and coming, but don't hop on the train when it's too late. Just let y'all
No,
know now.
no, I get you. Just hey, we got to shout out
For
people
sure.
whenever we get a moment, for
For sure.
sure.
That's my
So,
family.
um, all right, bro, we've been talking now for quite some time about you, your
Yeah.
journey, and of course, want to be able to go out there and impress some guys. I mean, I'm sure you did that while you were, at the FCS Bowl. People can actually turn that on. It is available on YouTube. I mean, you can check it out. I mean, one of the main targets in that game. So you could certainly, see O'Vauntay Vickers in that. So, Vontae, as we close up shop, talk to all those scouts out there. Tell them why you need to be given that opportunity at the next level, man.
Uh,
Go
yeah,
for
if this is a video to all the scouts, I would say, small school guys work the hardest. I have chip on my shoulder. I want to go in there and prove that I can come in and be an impact guy, whether it's special teams, practice squad, whatever. I'm willing to do whatever it takes to stick around and impact their game and play winning football. So, hey, I'm O'Vauntay Vickers, 6'2", 208 receiver. I can make big plays and not only offense, but special teams. And I'm willing to come in and start from the bottom and work my way up to being the best version of myself. So you guys out there, give me a chance.
No, hey, obviously a guy who could play on the inside and out and could do a whole lot for your
Yeah,
offense. Vontae, want to wish you all the best moving forward. Okay.
you as well. I appreciate it.
Sure, man. Vontae Vickers, wide receiver, University of St. Francis in Indiana. Check him out.